Hi dear friends, welcome back to Alpha Physio Pelvic Care, all things pelvic health. If you are seeing me for the first time, my name is Anastasia Ovarova and I'm practicing pelvic floor physiotherapist with experience for over 10 years. And in my channel, I talk all things pelvic health. If you want to stay on top of your pelvic health, if you want to know exercises for different pelvic floor conditions, if you want to know my best tips and tricks for pelvic health, make sure you subscribe to my channel not to miss any videos. Today we will talk about why do we need post-pregnancy exercises, why do we need to start gently, and also I would like to mention that today's topic will also apply to somebody who had a gynecological operation. So not only if you have given birth, either vaginal birth or cesarean birth, but also if you had, for example, a hysterectomy or a prolapse repair, this video will be very useful to you. If you're watching my videos, if you find my content useful, make sure you drop a like under this video and also write your comments. What has been your post-pregnancy recovery experience? Has anybody told you that you do need a recovery exercises, or you were just left to your own devices and confused and not sure what to do? Let's talk about for a few minutes why do we need post-pregnancy exercises? Why we cannot just give birth, vaginal birth or cesarean birth, just wait 6 weeks post-cesarean or 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks post-vaginal birth and get back to our own business. Maybe running, exercises, Pilates class, and so on. First, let's have a look what's happening with the pelvic floor during the birth. Pelvic floor is the set of muscles that covers your pelvis. It's also supporting all your pelvic organs such as uterus with a baby, bladder, rectum, and provides you with a controlled manner of toileting, including also allows for baby to be born if you have a vaginal delivery. These pelvic floor muscles undergo tremendous strain during pregnancy and can lengthen about 200 to 300%, so 2-3 times normal. Plus, by lengthening, they also have to support heavier uterus. They also have to support the baby and also your organs. And sometimes they get fatigued, they get weaker, and you might already in pregnancy start noticing that with a bit of sneeze or if you have a cold, you leak urine. Also, as your abdominals grow, the abdominal muscles might start to separate. This is a natural process, and also it's known as diastasis recti, abdominal separation. Studies show that somewhere how 56 to 100% women towards the end of the term will experience abdominal separation. And both of these conditions, pelvic floor overstretch and abdominal separation, can be somehow qualified as injury. So if I give you a very, very simple example, you go for a run and you strain your hamstring, and you strain it fairly badly, you can feel it. Same happens with your pelvic floor and with your abdominals. Whether you had vaginal or C-section, you feel your pelvic floor sore after birth, you feel it weak, you feel your abdominals sore. If you had stitches, the area hurts. It can be really, really physically and emotionally overwhelming experience. So getting back to the hamstring, what do people usually do? They let it rest a bit, they let it heal. And then as they return back to the running or whatever activity, they start slowly. They do some exercises, they do rehabilitation, they might even go to physiotherapists, and quite often they do. They do a bit of massage, a bit of stretching, and ease into the exercise, condition the muscle, same time letting it heal, and then they go back to their normal activities. Exactly same thing happens with your pelvic floor and with your abdominals. We need to rehabilitate these muscles after significant overstretch that already happened in pregnancy, after what happened during the birth. Even if you had a very easy birth and your experience overall was positive, still it's a physical impact on your body. So we need to add some rehabilitation element. And today we're going just to do that. Today I will show you exercises that are suitable about 2-3 weeks after uncomplicated vaginal birth, and to be on the safe side, 6 weeks after cesarean section. You can do these exercises at home, and all you will need is a mat and just a simple pillow, not even a special pillow. You can do these exercises on the bed if your bed is firm enough. If it is soft, maybe it's going to be more difficult because of the spinal position. Your body will sink into bed. Otherwise, if you have quite firm bed, you can do it also on the bed. We start easy, so we take the pillow and we will sit on it. The reason why I prefer to sit on the pillow, it puts your pelvis into more neutral position. And also, in case you had stitches, it just provides a bit softer surface. Quite few people will be a bit tighter on their back and on the hamstrings, so pillow gives you that straighter posture. As you sit, I'm here with a cross leg. You can sit with your legs straight, or you can even sit on the chair if you prefer. The most important, our upper body is nice and straight, and we will start with just breathing and finding our pelvic floor, finding these muscles, connecting our brain and body with these muscles. So we're going to take a nice breath in, counting to 3-4 seconds, into our side and back of our lungs. And for this particular breathing technique, I have a separate video, which is called 360 degrees breathing. Make sure you check it out. If you're not sure exactly what to do, there is a whole video explaining that. So we take nice deep breath into our sides, feeling our ribs coming out, expanding and pushing into our hands. And then we actively breathe out and let our ribs go back together. So we repeat this just for the few times before connecting it to the pelvic floor. Let's try again, breathing in and breathe out. After that, we want to start actively engaging our pelvic floor. Over the internet, I hear again and again and again that do the exercise, do the breathing, and the pelvic floor will engage itself. But honestly, sometimes it's not the case. As with the hamstring, before the example I gave you, you have consciously focus on the muscle, make sure the movement is smooth, make sure the movement is targeted. Same with the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor, during rehabilitation stages, has to be in conscious connection with your body, with your brain, with your mind, and what you're doing. So we will consciously and targeted squeeze the lift of the pelvic floor. So imagining the kind of pulling our anus in and up, and we'll also consciously let it go and relax it. This is also a very important element. We don't want just to squeeze all the time. So we're going to take a breath in, and whilst we breathe in, we'll let our pelvic floor go. We let it relax completely. And as you breathe out, you consciously draw in the area around your anus away from the pillow you're sitting on, whilst your ribs are coming down. You will feel also some lower tummy engagement, and that is absolutely okay and should be happening. It's just try right now to focus on the pelvic floor, and the longer you breathe out and lift, your tummy will switch in as well in the whole unity. So one more, breathing in and breathe out, engage. Let's do a few more. Let's exercise along. And breathe out. Breathe in. Out. Watch your shoulders. Make sure you're not tensing up your shoulders, not tensing up your jaws, and you really should feel that you're drawing the area between your sitting bones here away from the pillow. You can practice this even throughout the day for 8-10 repetitions, 2-3 times. The most important thing is, as you draw in and engage, as much you need to let it go and relax when you breathe in. Now, we will lay down on the mat and we will do, again, some exercises, but the principle of engagement will stay exactly the same. Breathing in, filling in our lungs on the side, so-called diaphragmatic breathing. Breathe out, always starting with pelvic floor engagement and then zipping up all the way our core. The first exercise will be without a pillow. We can put it under our head if we want to, and we will use it in a bit for the next exercise. You are laying down, legs parallel, and here we will start with simple pelvic tilts, but we will add a little bit exaggerated movement, hence the tilt. Again, we are aiming our breath into the side of our lungs, expanding them and gently adding a curve under our back. So we don't want maximum arch, but we add a bit of a curve, breathing in. 3-4 seconds breath in, and as you breathe out, you always start squeezing, engaging, lifting. These are all synonyms I'm using, right? Pulling in your pelvic floor gently, and you press your back into the floor. Now here I should add, it should be about 70% effort. We're not squeezing and pushing all the way down, right? We don't want to break the floor through with our back. We really want the soft tilt, long breath out, focusing on the engagement. And as we breathe in and arch, we let our tummy relax, we let our lungs fill up with the air, we relax the pelvic floor, and then we breathe out. We start always with little engagement, and then we engage, engage, engage. You will feel a gentle engagement of the glutes. Again, I don't want a lot of squeeze, hence pelvis is not lifting off. We're just making a little tilt and breathe in. If you want the analogy of trying to hold the pee when you breathe out, you can use that as well. But don't actually try to hold your pee, all right? When you're actually peeing, just use the analogy of the contraction. Now, we're going to use the pillow in between our knees here, and we will do some rotations. Why we use the pillow? The pillow will keep our knees parallel, and we will gently squeeze it. It will help us to engage our inner thigh muscles that are synergists. That means they're friends, they're buddies with the pelvic floor muscles as well. Relax your arms by your side. Your feet are slightly more together because as we're going to add the squeeze, our legs will come to parallel position. We're going to breathe in, really vertebra by vertebra, breathing in, stretching the whole area. As you start to breathe out, you think about your upper back first returning, gently tucking your tailbone in, start squeezing the pillow, find your pelvic floor, zipping up. Breathing in, we'll let everything go. Filling up our lungs with the air and letting our pelvic floor relax. And breathe out. As you see, I'm starting to place down my top part, and then I'm engaging my pelvic floor, my middle back, my lower back, and I'm adding a bit of squeeze. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Engage, 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 engage. Let's do it. We need also to add a bit of mobility to our hips and also to our pelvic floor. So we do one more exercise here on the back, and then we move on to the side. We're going to keep our feet together. Breathing in, let our legs gently fall apart, okay? Don't let it boom. Nice and gentle stretch. Breathing into the side. As we breathe out, we think about collecting, like we're collecting our muscles. We gently press our back, pelvic floor engagement. Zipping up. Breathing in. And breathe out, engage. Breathing in, let your back arch slightly, that is fine. And breathe out, start engaging, engaging together. Okay, let's change a little bit the position. I'm going to be here on my side, and again, going to use the pillow for the knees, again for better activation purposes for the deep abdominals. And usually when I do my exercise on the side, I do recommend to be nice and tall here through the waist to make sure everything is neutral. But this time, because we're doing our gentle mobility engagement, we actually will sink slightly into our waist and a little bit into our shoulder, not too much, just through the waist, okay? And we're going to breathe in into our mainly the bottom side because it's more open. And as you breathe out, you think about your pelvic floor, you start connecting it, you start to engaging, and you move your waist into the neutral position while squeezing the pillow and engaging your pelvic floor. Breathing in, you let yourself drop. Breathe out, you engage. You will feel more at the back here because of the position. Zipping, 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 zipping up, and neutral. This is great exercise to start with for diastasis recti. And this exercise is also safe in pregnancy. Breathing in, very soft, conscious movement. Breathe out, we zip. Breathe in. This is probably the exercise that you do need to do on the floor, because if you're on the bed, it's going to be kind of sinking through, so we need a good hard surface. And as you come up here in neutral, stay for 2-3 seconds. Give those muscles little time to activate and engage. Breathe in and breathe out. Of course, you do need to repeat this exercise on both sides. I would recommend about 15-20 repetitions. Depending on your arm, of course, you can always stay and stretch there a little bit if your arm gets tired, and make sure you do the other side too. On to now 4-point kneeling, hands and knees. In hands and knees, I will show you 2 exercises, and one is the variation of the famous cat and cow. It's just, again, our movement will be a little bit more conscious, slower, and we will focus on the pelvic floor engagement. So you breathe in into your side and let yourself arch like in a cat. As we're doing the cow, or maybe the opposite, I'm not sure which one is which. As we're moving up, we start with our bottom part, pelvic floor engagement, tucking our tailbone in, vertebra by vertebra, zipping up. Long breath out, engaged pelvic floor. I will show you in a bit variation with the pillow that might help you for better engagement. Breathing in. As you can see, I'm very conscious about my spine movement, and I'm not going into maximum stretches, okay? My point here is to find your muscles and feel them. Breathing in. Breathe out, engage. Pelvic floor, pelvic floor, pelvic floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can always add, this is like optional extra, the pillow between your knees. Again, it will help you with a bit more engagement. Your legs will be closer here. Breathing in. Breathing out. A bit of squeeze of the pillow. It might help you with the pelvic floor engagement, especially if you feel weaker, if you had significant tears, grade 2, 3, maybe 4, you healed, and you got okay from your doctor, and now you really need to work on those sphincters, especially if the tear went to anal sphincter. This is great exercise as well to target a little bit that back part of the pelvic floor. But also if you had a cesarean section, deep abdominals here, really good target. Plus it also mobilizes nicely your C-section scar in this exercise. And again, you can make here about 20 repetitions, nice and conscious, and on a breath out, gentle squeeze of the pillow. Moving on onto our last exercise. We're again coming onto hands and knees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross one leg over another. So my right leg now is in front and left one is behind my knee. And here, your pelvic floor is in fully asymmetric position, right? It's asymmetrically stretched because pelvic floor consists of two parts, two sides, right? Just quickly show you. 1 and 2, and they're symmetrical. Here we are challenging them, putting them in asymmetrical position, which just happens quite a lot in a daily life. So here, arms and legs are parallel. We're going to breathe in, reach back as much as you can, and it will not be a huge movement. It will be fairly small range. And as you breathe out, you try to engage your pelvic floor. Okay, do the P stopping movement and come over your wrists, and then you go breathing in, lean back, giving it a good stretch, good relaxation. All the sphincters are relaxed, everything is relaxing, stretching here our glutes. Breathe out, breathe in. You might not feel the pelvic floor engagement that well. I'm not expecting you always to feel it ideally and perfectly and equally in all the positions. That's not the case. You might just about feel your sphincter, your anus, or around the vagina just about lifting and moving, and this is enough. Nice long breath. Remember, we want our breath at least 3 seconds. Breathe in and breathe out. Excellent. Perfect. So in order to make things easier for you, all of these exercises, if they are single exercise, you can repeat 20 reps. If it is each side exercise, you can repeat 15 repetitions on each side. You can use and do all these exercises at once, and then you will have about 15, maybe 17 minutes exercise slot. Or if you really don't have time, you can split them throughout the day or pick and choose. For example, Tuesday you do 2-3 exercises, and next day you do another 2-3 exercises. It really depends how you can manage your time. The most important is consistency. Even if you do a little bit, but every day, believe me, this will add up. This will add up than if you do the whole program and then don't have time and forget about it and probably remember in a week or 10 days and return to it again. It will not have as good effect, if any, if you do 3 exercises out of those I showed you at least, or you can do all of them, and you can do them every single day. In 2 weeks, I promise you will already feel better, you will already feel stronger, and then you can move on other exercises I have on my YouTube channel that are a little bit more challenging. But first of all, we begin with those healing, focused, brain, mind, body connecting exercises. If you tried those exercises, let me know. Maybe you have some questions. If you watched this video till the end and if you found this useful, I really appreciate if you drop the like. Make sure you subscribe not to miss any videos, and we will see you back very soon. Bye.